Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. This is Bliss Beings, I'm Dante. Today I'm talking about resonance magic and the state of becoming. So first of all, today is 11/11 and it's a very powerful portal. If you're just watching this video as it's coming out, this is a time, and we're also lining up with the full moon tomorrow, that we're really being asked to let go of the past and to heal this gap between our mind and our heart, and that will also tie into resonance magic a bit. And really importantly, it's when we listen to our heart and listen to our true calling in the heart, that's when things line up for us. And when we allow ourselves to live from that place, then everything else somehow will align. It may not be the way that we project it into the future, but it will line up with that core frequency in our inner being. So what is resonance magic? So I hold all of my I hold my phone up with tuning forks when I record the videos. There's always a tuning fork there just for your information. So here's, tuning fork makes this sound, but if I had one tuning fork that was the same same hertz, same tone, and it was held right next to this one, it would start to make the same sound just through the vibrations this tuning fork offers. So that is scientifically resonance, but energetically, what is resonance? It's when the vibrations around us, or the vibrations that we focus upon, in turn create that vibration opening within us. And we can use this tool very powerfully to create our reality. So I first want to talk about how we can use this in order to line up with the future that we want to create. Now, as I say this, there's a lot of videos online that are in this like self-help thing of like, create the life of your dreams, da 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 da. But for me personally, on a shamanic path, my dream has always been in alignment with developing tools for healing and serving others, and those are the kinds of people that I intend to support on my channel as well. So the highest frequency resonance is what is going to both empower you and also awaken these gifts that can in turn awaken the love frequency in others. So another example of resonance, before I get into this, because this example is much more clear, is how everything around us is vibrating and offering us a frequency. And this is how crystal healing works, right? I have some here. So the crystal is vibrating at a certain frequency. By holding it on my body, or even just by holding it in my hands, I can allow that frequency to change my own frequency. Now, every person is also vibrating at a certain frequency. So this is why we feel these gut reactions towards people. And there's many reasons why we may have certain reactions to certain people. Though, basically it means we want to align with the people that awaken the highest frequencies within us and allow that to be what guides us. And now, talking about resonance magic, so in this video I want to talk about how we can align with the frequency of future versions of ourselves. Now, we talk a lot in the spiritual world, it's been out there for so long, past lives, future lives, and spirit guides. Now, for me, they're all kind of the same thing. They are other aspects of your oversoul. Of course, a spirit guide from Lemuria, a spirit guide from Pleiades, a spirit guide from India, your own past life from there. They're all going to have a different frequency and offer you a different resonance that you can attune to, bringing different gifts into your life. But at their core, it's just a part of your oversoul. I call it a soul aspect. Now, these beings, when we start to work in altered states of consciousness through channeling, through shamanic journeying, through meditation, crystal healing, there's so many different tools and ways for us to start to access these states. But when we intentionally focus and we ask for a certain being to come that's going to help us align with one intention for our lives and our service to the whole, those beings can come and offer us a frequency that in turn changes our internal resonance. Though we can also do this with aspects of our oversoul that are us. So this is not the only version of you. This is a universe that has an infinite amount of parallel realities. So there are so many different versions of you that are having a different experience. Same soul, different person. Now, there are so many ways that you can apply this tool, and there's a lot of different meditations that you can look up and tune into this. Some methods of it are like working with your doppelganger, so on and so forth. But I want to make it really simple so that anyone can understand it, and it can be something that doesn't have to be this deep esoteric investigation. It can just be something you can apply in your daily life. So let's say you really want to initiate yourself as a healer, you want to change your career, you want to be more of service, you want to put your gifts out there in a more direct way. And I say this because there's a lot of people tuning into my channel and working with me that are also stepping up and wanting to bring their healing gifts out into the world, and we need a lot of people doing that. Just because there's already so many healers does not mean the world doesn't need your healing too. Believe it, know it. The people that you're meant to serve are there waiting for you. So don't hold yourself back thinking that there's someone better. You have something so perfect that only you can offer, and your unique gifts are going to meet unique needs in the world out there. So this is the example, and so let's say that you are just, you're working a regular job and you really don't like it, but you can still within that tune into the frequency of that more free state. You can tune into the frequency of simply just by imagining that version of yourself who doesn't have that job anymore, who is receiving income, receiving money for doing healing work. You can tune into that version of yourself who's putting themselves out there and allowing the magic to work for them. So what's key in this is that you allow those images to come, yet you don't focus on the specifics of those images. You don't get attached to the details of your fantasy, because a lot of people, when they start to do vision work, vision boards, or anything of this nature, they get really attached to those details, and it's really not about the details. The truth is the universe knows a lot better than you. There is so much that you are not aware about yourself. For everyone, no matter who you are, how far along the path you are, you have a subconscious and unconscious that is going to manifest through your experience, and your only job is to be in this state that you prefer. So when you raise your vibration, you feel this frequency of love, that is the indication that you're heading on the ascending path, the path towards service, alignment with your source. And you use these images of something in the future to simply bring you into that state. And when you're in that state, you can use those images and just smile about them. Oh, those beautiful things that are coming to me. And you can make that plan to move in that direction. Now, what throws us off is often there are so many paths. There's the splitting of timelines. So as much as there's a version of yourself, following the same example, that is becoming a healer, that is breaking from the system and learning to support themselves through offering their gifts into the world, there's a version of yourself who stays stuck or even experiences something much worse. So when we start to play out those movies in our minds about the bad things happening, when we worry about what could go wrong rather than focusing on what could go right, then our resonance starts to get distorted into that negative timeline that we're projecting outwards. And so the most important thing is to, whenever we're doing that, break from those images in our mind, break from them. I work with a lot of different ancient divination systems, I like to use this symbol from the Nordic runes, Isa, which is representing the stillness. It's ice. It's cutting away anything that we don't want. So whenever I'm breaking cords or disconnecting from something, I use the symbol, and it's really just a straight line. It can be that simple. Magic doesn't have to be super complicated. When that image or that fantasy that you don't want, that's offering you a resonance that's out of alignment with your highest path, Isa, cut it away, it's gone. And it's okay in those moments to, like, it's in a way like a healthy way of distracting yourself from your own negative fantasies, to not get lost in it. Find something that brings you in the moment into creativity. And one of the most powerful tools is for expression is toning. So I do a toning practice. I do this pretty regularly, and I teach people how to do it to align their chakras and clear energy blockages from their system. And it's just, there's a tone for every chakra, and maybe I'll make another video on this, but you tone into that chakra, and you just feel in your body how that sound you're making resonates in that part of your body. So for the heart, the sound is ah. And whenever you find yourself drifting into these weird negative fantasies, you instead cut away, focus on what you would prefer to become. Bring your hand to your heart and just go, ah. And doing that for a couple of minutes will often raise your vibration enough that you can, again, then find your own highest path of excitement in that moment and break from those weird fantasies and thought loops and negative resonances. And sound healing, beyond being this metaphysical thing that opens our chakras, it's straight up scientific that when you sing and tone and even speak with the right degree of intention and awareness, you're opening your vagus nerve, which helps the body reduce inflammation and get in that clearer cognitive state. Look it up, vagus nerve, how to open the vagus nerve, what opens the vagus nerve, and what happens when you do. Because this nerve is really directing all the flow of energy in our body, and we have the control over it in every moment. We have to be in that right alignment, sit with the right posture, speak with intention and clarity and precision, and stay focused on our dreams that we really want to create. So let's talk also about the resonance of the past. So what happens when we experience something traumatic, or something traumatic is a pretty charged word, and some people have a lot of trauma that they don't recognize because the trauma they experienced was neglect. So a state of not receiving love, not receiving validation or being seen over a long period of time is traumatic. Your body processes it the same way. So a lot of people are traumatized by neglect and don't even know it. So I'll say trauma or neglect. When you have that lodged into your body, it's like a separate part of yourself that you can keep resonating with. So there are deep processes that can help you to get in touch with those parts of yourself and really find out what they're asking for, what they need, what they want from you. And so this is, you look up my video about inner child work, or look up Teal Swan's work on inner child work. She has so many videos about this. But we have to really go inside to where there is that pain and feel it and elevate it step by step by asking this emotion as if it is a separate part of ourselves within us. What do you need? What are you trying to bring me or teach me? Because at the core of every emotion is an intention. You know, sadness is asking you to rest deeper. Anger is asking you to set your boundaries and empower yourself and state what you want. Fear is showing you what you don't want. And all of these things are great, that we have to really sink into those emotions and ask those parts of yourself deeply. What do you want? Because that same part of yourself is like, it's a pattern, it's a vibration that is at a lower frequency, yet it can be raised and elevated in its frequency. So here it's about learning to listen to those parts of yourself, what they need, what they want, and fulfill those needs with a state of love. And yeah, just tapping into that process, because this is also something that creates a resonance. When we don't look at the past, or when we keep seeing scenes from the past in our dreams or in other psychic experiences, that's a sign that we need to do this work until the emotion associated with those memories is not part of our experience anymore. And this is something that takes time. If you are in a state of, you have some trauma, it's not holding you back from doing that work of focusing on your dreams entirely, maybe partially. You still need to move forward and take care of your needs and be of service, right? But you need to go in and look at those things and clear them out. It's really important. So other ways, so these are some kind of, what do you call that? Intrapersonal, no, they're inside of yourself. These are the inner ways that you can work with resonance magic, and the outer ways are endless. All that resonance magic is allowing vibrations to attune to each other. Your favorite song, that's a resonance magic when it lifts your energy up. Finding healing frequencies and music created with the intention to inspire and align, that's a form of resonance magic. Crystal healing is resonance magic. Coming out in nature, all of these trees are offering resonance. So it's about letting all of those energies around us tune to our inner energy and creating that change. And what I want to say really is, we're all infinitely powerful beings. So I myself have had a life that a lot of people are like, wow, how do you do that? I travel around the world. I thought I was going to stop for a while, if you've been paying attention to my more personal updates, and take these offerings into a community, but I realized that there's something so important about being this bridge that's taking many different cultures, many different ideas, many different healing modalities and ways of working with energy and magic, and combining it and offering it to people around the world, because people are really inspired by this. And I see that I meet a lot of people that, just that vibration of freedom that I hold, that is a resonance magic for them, that then brings them to realize that they are fucking free and they can do what they want. I just swore on my YouTube channel and I'm not going to change it. Oh my God. I think that was the first one. So you are free and you can do what you want. And that's really powerful when you realize that you have this capability. What more to say about it? So for me, like when I'm making these decisions of where I'm going, because I travel a lot and there's many different possibilities open. I really look at out of everything I could do right now, what in the long term is going to make my service the most complete. And of course it means like self-care. If I'm in a low state, self-care is the first step in order for me to be able to serve others. Though a lot of the decisions they make is like, oh, okay, here I can meet a lot of people that I can help, or here I can get these tools that are going to help me help people in the next step, or here, this is my family, this is really important people that need to revisit this chapter. But I'm in this kind of flowing imaginal state and picturing all of the different possibilities, and I'm at a place of not really committing or to one path, but committing to my intention, committing to my priority. My priority is love, well-being, helping other people, and expanding what I know and what I'm capable of. That's what I'm committed to. I'm not committed to a location or any one person. I am committed to people, but I'm not committed to like, I'm going to be there for you right here, right now. I'm going to be there for you when it works for all of us. And so having that in mind, like when all of these options are out there, I really take a moment to feel into my heart, imagining myself in that place. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? And out of all the options, the one that brings me to feel this highest vibration of love and expansion, that's what I move with. Sometimes my own personal fear does come up when I'm connected with the path of the greatest love and expansion. This is a natural thing that we sometimes are especially early on in the path, we're so used to being in a contracted state that we may experience expanding and then things go wrong because our own belief systems manifest and create our reality. Oops. When you expose yourself to a high frequency, what's subconscious becomes conscious. And sometimes the outer world, which is really a response to our inner subconscious and unconscious reality, is the way that those things become conscious, okay? But we can't let that stop us. We can't fear what's going to come up when we really step into our love and expansion. We just have to move forward and do it. And as we step into that alignment, there is a lot that happens. When we feel into our heart, that is the path for me, and you let go of the expectations of how it's going to happen, because that's what can sabotage it as it starts to manifest, right? You expect it's going to be this way or that way, and again, those inner details that you have, erase them and just move yourself back into the state. The state of love is the highest resonance magic, okay? Unconditional love, bliss, joy. There's so many ways to describe it. Words are so limited, but it's a vibration you can feel. Let's put it that way. There's one last thing I was thinking of. Give me a moment. I'm feeling the resonance of all these trees around me. So beautiful, right? Like, I love fall so much. Fall offers a resonance, for sure. The resonance of channeled beings and these interdimensional friends, the Pleiadians and other channels, those offer a resonance for you as well, that if you really focus yourself and listen to the energy behind those words, that can also help your resonance go up. What I wanted to say had something to do with like finding the path, the resonance of finding your path. Oh yeah, I was calling this video The State of Becoming. So in order to really line up with those greatest visions, you have to accept where you are and also accept the continual state of becoming, that there is nothing static about your being. There's only this progression of the vibrational energy patterns within you. Everything is vibrating, moving energy that plays itself out over this timeline thing. The same patterns continue to play out again and again, yet we don't ever fully get rid of the patterns themselves. We only get rid of the belief systems that distort those patterns. When we come to see the conditioning of society and the conditioning of our own sort of genetic history that adds these layers of belief systems, those same patterns then become higher frequencies, attuned to this core of love, that allow for magic things to happen for us. So becoming is a state where you're not fighting against who you are in order to be what you are becoming. You are totally accepting of what you are, and you are understanding that everything you have has that potential to transform into something even better. And you're not going towards something better because you don't like what is. You're going to something better because doesn't that just feel nicer, right? Like everyone wants, everything's always getting better, great. And of course there are cycles, like there's night and day and winter and summer. It gets better, it gets a little bit worse, then it gets even better, then it gets a little bit worse, then it gets even better, and that's how it works. And so we start to get to a point where we don't fight the part where it gets worse, because that's where the belief systems that we're meant to transform come up again for us to let go of, okay? And yeah, that's resonance magic and the art of becoming, the state of becoming. And okay, there's like one more idea out there, in there, out there, in there, same thing. There's one more idea, I'm looking for it. But anyway, so I want to answer your questions personally. I feel this kind of shift in my becoming where I'm going to make a lot more personal videos of my sharing, not just channeling. So if you have any questions for me, please write me, and maybe I'll make videos about that. I hope to make a lot of videos in these next couple of weeks before I begin traveling again. I'm aligning with the becoming that's involved in traveling and expanding in that way. And yeah, let me know what you think of this video, and if you have any specific questions about it, and I would love to expand upon how we can really become the versions of ourselves that we prefer. And really at the core of this is being in the state you prefer in order to allow the transformation to happen. When you're in the state you prefer, you're just doing what you love naturally and allowing the details to fill themselves in, and knowing that that state of love is always in alignment with what you're becoming. And quite naturally, I find that when you do this, when you set yourself up and you release attachment, what you'll naturally be drawn to do does have a direct or indirect relationship with what you are desiring to become. That's all for this video. I love you, bless you, have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time.